In today's video, we're gonna answer the tough question, is it worth making YouTube shorts to make money? I've brought numbers, I've brought metrics, and I've brought a strategy that if you apply it, will make it worthwhile and make sense for you to create YouTube shorts. Before we start, just a reminder that we have some content for which we've developed mind maps to help you grow on YouTube. This one here, for example, shows which AIs and which strategies I use to have channels in Portuguese, English, Spanish, and German. So it covers channel creation, AI tools, content, and planning. There's also this other one here, which is about how you can make money using AI avatars. So if you don't want to show up on camera, if you only want your voice to be heard, or if you want an ultra realistic presenter, I've already mentioned here on my channels that many times it's actually my clone. People don't realize that it's not me presenting. And sometimes there are other presenters on my other channels. I have 12 channels, 10 of them are active, 5 in Brazil and 5 in English. And now I also have one in Spanish and one in German, all using artificial intelligence. If you want to download this content for free, during the video, I'll tell you how to do it, okay? Let's go straight to my computer screen. I've brought in a short specialist, an American who makes over $5,000 with some shorts. Let's see how he does it, and then I'll share the strategy I'm going to use for shorts. All right, so let's go straight to it. 3, 2, 1, go.
Shorts paid my bills for the next few months. I always wanted someone to show not only how much shorts earn, but also the analytics that lead to success when they take off. That way I could know what clues to look for, which metrics to focus on. And finally, why do we have these straight lines? Now that I see everything in the analytics, I can share it. First, the money. Let's look at my best performing shorts. I'll show how many views they got, how many subscribers they brought in, and how much each short earned. The first one I posted 35 days ago got 7.5 million views, 13,700 subscribers, and earned 1,265.21.
Well, just to mention here, I don't know if you're watching this video in Portuguese or in English or Spanish or German, but everything we're talking about here is in earnings in dollars, okay?
Before moving on to the next one, look at this part of the graph. You'll notice a pattern. At around 12,000 views on this short, I started taking daily screenshots. Not just for this one, but for all the following ones to show the growth. Day by day, instead of what YouTube shows, I hate that. It doesn't help me. All right, on to the next one.
So he's saying that daily graph doesn't make sense, okay? You need to look at it over a span of 30 days, 90 days, over longer periods. And what did he do here? He's taking screenshots from the moment the shorts hit 12,000 views. This will become clearer in a moment.
The second one got 5.9 million views, 22.4 thousand subscribers, and brought in 733,000.
Look, so there was one that made over $1,000, and here it made $733. Look at that. From just one short.
And 63, noticing the pattern in this graph. The next one, Never Steal from Walmart. It got 7.7 million views, 25.9 thousand subscribers, and brought in 1,263.33.
Comment below. One short, 1,263. Is it worth it? Of course, he made more than one short, actually. We're going to talk about how many shorts you should make per day. But look, if one goes virale, showed several that went viral.
Cool, right? Number 4. This one got 9.5 million views, 21.8 thousand subscribers, and brought in a total of 1,252.31. Number 5. Worst Mailman, okay? It got 4.5 million views, 9.7 thousand subscribers, and earned 763.43. This chart really broke the pattern. I'll explain that in a second. But Beth,
these numbers are really good. I'm about to share my strategy focused on artificial intelligence and international channels. But let's see what he's gonna say here.
First, an important tip. Before I had successful shorts, I posted one that didn't do so well. It didn't perform well until the 16th. Can you guess what happened on the 16th? That's when my first short went viral. After that, it increased dramatically. Not only did the views go up, it was the impressions. YouTube gave this one another chance after it got to know my audience. Don't delete your old shorts, especially if you haven't changed your niche. because they can improve when YouTube finds your audience. Let's jump to the analytics.
What he's saying is really important. A lot of people take their shorts and even long videos, and because they didn't perform well at first, they delete them and repost. That's not right. If you've been on YouTube for a while, you know that sometimes a week later, a month later, 3 months later, 6 months later, your YouTube ends up giving that video another chance, and then it blows up, it goes viral. Sometimes you look at the metrics and suddenly you say, wait, where are these views coming from? And then you look at your latest videos and say, wow, it's not here. And then when you check a more detailed report, you see that they're videos from a month, 3 months, 6 months ago. So don't delete your shorts, focus on your next short. Of course, for each short, you'll choose the best topic, record it in a way that engages, put your essence into it, and communicate clearly with your niche. But since you've already done your best on this one, you'll do your best again on the next. Keep improving and let YouTube find your audience. Let's keep going here. Leave any questions you have in the comments below, and I'll help you out, okay?
I want to show you what growth looks like before it actually happens. As I said before, I took screenshots of these videos. This was the first screenshot. It was the first video I saw hit 12K. I was super excited. I thought, maybe I should document this, and I'm glad I did. Okay, so that's when I noticed a straight line between 11,000 and 12,000, which I had never seen before. I had seen a lot of straight lines at 1,000, because that's what all my videos used to do. And I know straight lines exist at 500 as well. Everyone experiences them. Let me explain. Why do they happen? I'll show you what it looks like when a short surpasses a straight line. Okay, so straight lines happen when YouTube stops giving impressions to your video long enough to analyze the results of the impressions it already gave. It will give you impressions to get your video to 100 views. Just as an example, it analyzes the results. If your video was good enough for more impressions, it will give you enough to reach 500. Then there's the next level where you have the chance to stay on the straight line or go up. If your video was good, if people watched long enough, if there was engagement, then YouTube will give you impressions to reach 1,000. Then it stops or continues, and so on. When this one hit the flat line at 11,000, 12,000, I thought it would stay there. I was happy and decided to move on to the next video, which is what you should always do. Don't get stuck on the results of just one. That will only hold you back. While I was working on the next one, the first one shot up to 20,000 views. It was tested there for a few hours. I think the results were good because then it took off. In the middle of the third day, it tested up to 100,000, as you can see from the flat line here. Then it shot up to 500,000 and beyond. Meanwhile, this next one stayed at the flat line at 11,000. But like the first, it started to pick up momentum. It kept going after that. And then view number 3. Basically, it was the same. It stayed around 11,000, but started to speed up earlier.
From what I understand, from what he's saying here, at least on his channel, because every channel is different, every niche is different, every topic is different, but according to his numbers, he's saying that YouTube gives a certain number of impressions, for example, up to 500. Then you reach 500. Then after that, if your video is good, it gives you more impressions, so you can reach 1,000, then 2,000. On his channel, when it gets to the level of 12,000, somewhere between 10 and 12,000, and his channel also performs well, then it reaches a viral level. Then YouTube won't just show it up to 20,000, it'll show it up to 100,000, because he's already run several tests, right? To 500, to 1,000, to 2,000, to 5,000. So when it gets between 10 to 12,000 in his numbers, in his niche, on his channel, then it worked. Now, what he'll probably say, I don't want to give any spoilers, but you have to find your own pattern. It's not going to be a universal pattern where 12,000 is the magic number. You have to analyze. You obviously need to have one or another viral video there to understand when YouTube will realize that your video, your shorts video, has been tested several times, and then let's say it gets approved to go viral. Let's keep going here.
Node, end of the second day, it already had about 75,000 views. At that point, I went to sleep and woke up with about 228,000. This one picked up momentum even faster. And then, number 4, stayed steady at around 11K on the first day, and by the end of the second day, it had about 300,000 views. Based on the pattern, my theory is that I was consistently producing quality content and was rewarded by the algorithm taking less time to analyze the video because the next one didn't even stay steady. It stopped at 11K but then kept going. And by the end of the first day, it had about 600,000 views or something like that. That's when things started to slow down because I stopped posting as frequent as I used to.
Okay, so before he says that, from what he said, there came a point when YouTube kept running tests on several shorts and realized that he was consistent, that the videos were high quality, so of course it would, right? YouTube analyzes each video individually, but once it realized that his channel already had the right audience and engagement, YouTube understood the audience, so it stopped running so many tests. There came a point when he was kind of pre-approved, so to speak, so there was no longer that straight curve and all those little steps. It would quickly test and approve, and then the video would go viral faster. Look how interesting that is. And now he's going to get into a topic about like you're doing well, you're growing, you're consistently and disciplinedly posting videos. Why do you stop and what happens when you do? Let's continue here. Let's see.
Small increments of 4 days, and then it would take about 9 days to post the next one. As you can see, it's already been 11 days since I posted this, and it stayed around 45,000. This video was about the same length as the others. It had an even better average watch time, great swipe rate, and a very good like to dislike ratio. Every now and then it gives a little boost trying something, but it doesn't want to waste time on me if I'm not going to post something else. If you stay consistent for long enough, you might get rid of the flat line entirely. I thought, I wish I had more data to look at. Like, I'd love to see a channel that posts consistently to see if there's a flat line or not.
Oh, data is really important. As always, I show it here on my channel, right? I'm going to show it now. I'll use two of my channels as examples. In this case, I'm going to show long form videos because now I'm going to talk about the short form video strategy that I'm going to apply. Actually, I'm already applying it, but for example, if I take my channel here, let's first look at a channel in Brazilian Portuguese. I'll use Maker Academy here. I've already had some viral videos. If you look here, look, 397,000, 371,000, 290,000, 120,000. Here, this one is doing well. Look, 56,000. I believe that from 30, 40, 50,000 views, you can already say it went viral. If you take my other channel now, this international one that appears in more than 30 countries, Cinema AI or AI Cinema in this case, if you look, check this out, 2.7 million, 1.3 million, 1,481,000, 456,000, 224,000, 193,000, 169,000, 135,000, 135,000, 134,000, 100,000. The one from Sheikha reaching 99,000, 97,000. In other words, several viral videos. So what happens? When you go viral, you need to increase your posting frequency, not decrease it. Why? Because that's when YouTube is showing your content to the largest number of people. People are discovering you. They want more from you and more about that topic. So you have to post more often and on the same topic to attract those people who came through the viral video. If they came because of the viral video about topic A, what do they want? More about topic A. And there were times when at first I didn't know this and I made mistakes, but later I learned and took advantage of that hype so that the people who came would stay with me longer and watch more videos. Continuing here, continuing with the video, let's see what he's going to say, and I'll wrap up with my strategy for what I'm going to do regarding shorts, okay? So stay here until the end. Let's just finish his line of thought here.
So I thought, wait, I have access to the analytics for the video here. So I went in there and I think I can show it. There is no straight line in any of these. Looking back over the last week, 2 weeks, yes, nothing really stays in a straight line. There's just a bit of slow growth. Since it's been almost 2 weeks since I posted that video, I guarantee that the next one I post, the straight line will be back. We understand what the straight line is, we understand how to get rid of it, and we know how to bring it back. I want to talk about shorts don't make money. It takes a lot of views to really start making money with shorts. I saw an interesting comment on Reddit that said, shorts usually only earn a few cents per view. That's not true. If it were, I would have made $100,000 with these 5 shorts. They probably meant per 1,000 views, and even then it's wrong. Because in my niche, it's between 17 and 25 cents per 1,000 views. It gets to about 13 cents per thousand views. It balances between 160 and 200.
Just to remind you, that's 13 cents in US dollars, okay? So depending on which country you're in, let's suppose you're in Brazil. You're going to multiply that by 6, by 5.7. Anyway, so it's going to be around, you know, if you grab a calculator here, for example, just so I don't say anything wrong, if I take the magic calculator that doesn't need artificial intelligence, if you take the number he mentioned, 0.13, and multiply by 6, I know it's a little less sometimes, a little more other times, but just to show you, it's already almost 1. And that 1 there, depending on the niche you're in, let's say, entertainment, many times it's 3. Sometimes, for political channels and so on, sometimes it's 2. So what does that mean? Does it mean it's worth it? It's less. But the number of views on shorts is much higher, much higher. So many times it's 10 times higher, 20 times higher. So what happens? If it were 10 times higher, let's say, you'd have to multiply that by 10. So that would already be 7.8. So you need to learn how to do the math. Here I did a conversion from dollars to reais, but you need to do it for the currency where you're watching me. Since you're watching in Portuguese, English, Spanish, and German. Let's continue here.
Per million views. It seems like a lot for so little money. I thought the same until I paid all my bills with it. I realized how much time I wasted comparing long form to short form when I hadn't even tried it. I don't know. Long form content never even came close to making me that kind of. Once I let go of that stigma, I noticed other channels doing the same, like Zach D Films. He started out with successful long form documentaries, but now he releases 3 to 5 shorts a day in the same niche as mine. How does he do it? He has 30 animators working with him, and he's still hiring. He saw the potential in shorts and built an empire. Well, I'm going to do the same. In fact, I've already hired my first animator. Don't let someone who says it's not worth it stop you from finding the value in something. I like shorts, they're cool, but you can't just make million-view shorts. You need practice. You have to learn a few things, and some of them can be learned in this video.
Yeah, so here's the thing. What's the strategy I'm going to use? And it's very much connected to the last point I made. First, the best strategy is to balance long videos with short videos and live streams because they attract completely different audiences. If you look at every 1,000 views, obviously long videos tend to pay more than short videos. But you shouldn't just look at the earnings per 1,000 views. You have to think like this. Look, I can make a shorts video with much less effort. I'm not making a 10 or 20 minute video. I'm making a video that's 30 or 50 seconds long. Besides that, shorts are also shown at least 10 to 20 times more often. So if it's paying me, let me give an example in English. If it's paying me 15 cents, I actually have to say no. It's actually 1.5 because it gets 10 to 20 times more views. Let's be conservative, 10 times more. Besides that, when I reach 1.5, which I did, I have to consider the difficulty or actually the ease of producing shorts. So what can I do? I can post 3 to 5 shorts per day. So let's say 3 shorts per day. What does that mean? It means that besides being shown 10 to 20 times more, I'm going to post 3 per day. While with long form videos, it's already hard to post 1 per day. Some of my channels have 2 to 3 long videos per day, and some channels have 3 videos per week. And with shorts now, I started posting 1 per day so I could get used to it and also not mess up with YouTube because it's bad to keep stopping and starting. After I get used to it, I'll start making 2 shorts. At first, I'm going to make shorts by taking clips from my videos. And then I'll start making original shorts content that's really designed specifically for shorts, okay? But what did I think then? First, with this conversion, right, 10 to 20 times more, it's shown, so you have to multiply and have a higher number of shorts per day. Besides that, you should also think about international channels. If you're watching me, for example, oh, I live in the United States, why don't you have channels in Spanish? Why don't you have a channel in German? I don't recommend Portuguese because YouTube pays very little in Brazil, but if you're in Brazil, why don't you have a channel in English? Why don't you have a channel in Spanish? I don't speak Portuguese, English, Spanish, and German, but I have channels. Why? because I use artificial intelligence and the right AIs, okay? Which of course I teach in my mentorship, but there are also some videos here on the channel that show you how, like this one you're watching, okay? If you want those free materials I mentioned, I'll leave a link in the video description and pinned in the first comment. You'll go to a website, and that site will guide you on how to download the content, okay? One detail, okay? I said it was free, but actually it costs $1. Why? Because a lot of people were reaching out to me on WhatsApp, and I was taking 2 to 3 days to send it. So I put it on Hotmart, which is a platform where you can upload things that's not possible to make it completely free. But I set up a coupon for 99.99, 99% off. So it'll be $1 for the content. You just go there, download it, and it will definitely help you, okay? I'll see you in the next video here. See you soon.